Welcome to the introduction video lecture for Unit 6 for our Library 50 class. Now, the first thing you want to do, as I say in every one of these lectures, is take a look at the overview of Unit 6. This kind of tells you what's expected and what's due. Also, here's the link to the video you're watching right now. And then what you're going to want to do is look at the lessons. Now, in this lesson, or in this unit, we have two lessons. We have Lesson 6, which is dealing with internet and online resources, and we also have a lesson dealing with artificial intelligence. Down below here, we have a couple of quizzes and 3 assignments. So let's start off with lesson number 6. I'm going to click on here. And this is going to take us to our lesson. And basically, we've got some information about the internet versus the World Wide Web, comparisons. I have some optional videos about how the internet works. You do not have to watch these, but they are very interesting, and it kind of explains how the internet works, which is interesting to me at least. And then I'm going to come over here and we're going to go to web browsers. I talk about web browsers. I talk about the market share of the different browsers. I talk about popular ones, but also some alternative browsers, which you might want to check out. Some of these have different options. Some of them are very safety oriented. So I recommend some of those. And come over here. I talk about search engines. Here's some different search engines. There's a few that are kind of special, like this Wolfram Alpha is actually a computational search engine. It's very kind of interesting, so I recommend checking that out. We also have like WebCrawler, which is the oldest one that's still surviving. It started in 1994, if you can imagine that. Talk about meta search engines, and I mentioned a thing about directories, which is how websites like Yahoo got started. Go to the next page here, and I talk about advanced web searching. There's ways when you're searching the web using browsers. There's a lot of advanced resources, and we talk about some of these in in assignment number 6. Come over here to the 8 basic types of websites on the internet. There's probably a question on that in the assignment. Come over here. I also mentioned some online indexes and databases here, just some general ones. You've probably seen a lot of these. And then using Wikipedia effectively. Now, over the years, Wikipedia has gone from something that nobody should use to, hey, this is something you could check out and maybe get an idea on something. I wouldn't use it for my research, but I would use it for background information and stuff. But this is a really interesting page that deals with Wikipedia and using it wisely. And then government information online. There's a lot of great information from the government, whether it's the federal government, the state government, or local government. These are some of my favorite websites that are from each of these branches of government. So I kind of recommend checking some of these out. You'll be looking at some in the assignments too. And I also talk about evaluating information from the internet. So again, evaluating stuff, you use the CRAP test, which you'll be using in the assignments also. Currency, reliability, authority, and purpose, and other factors about the design of the web page, are the links active, et cetera, et cetera. So this is information that you'll be using when looking at websites, things to keep in mind. And over here, we talk about the filter bubble, and this is a very interesting concept. It's been around for probably about 15 years or so, but again, it's a way of thinking about doing your research and how we kind of get stuck in filter bubbles, which isn't a bad thing on some aspects, but you should be aware of it. And when you're doing research on controversial topics and whatnot, you definitely want to be out of your filter bubble. So I talk about that in this page right here, and some different articles here that also talk about the filter bubble to check out. And I also talk about fake news, alternative facts, and propaganda. This is extremely important, so make sure you take a look at this page. There's some links, very interesting information here. How to spot fake news. This is so important, especially these days, because there's so much garbage out there. So I also recommend some websites for fact checking. And again, this is probably one of the most important pages in the lesson. So check this one out for sure. Then I talk about media bias. This is important too, because when you're getting your news and information from someplace, there is a bias. No matter what your views are or what resources you're using, there is some sort of bias. So it's very important to be aware of things like that. All right, so take a look at this. This is a media bias chart, which is very, very helpful. Also talk about bias in general right here. And I especially recommend clicking on the 16 types of media bias and how to spot them. This is excellent information. check this out. I almost make this mandatory for you guys. So again, check out this. And then I'm going to come to the next page and talk about internet security. This is important too. You should definitely be secure in using the internet, in using Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi. So we talk about public computers when you're online, using such things as virtual private networks, passwords, password security, and things like that. So very important lesson here dealing with the internet. So check this out. You're also going to want to go back to our Unit 6 page and look at our next lesson, which deals with artificial intelligence. So I'm going to go back to our page right here and check out the lesson on artificial intelligence. Now, as you know from my emails and the syllabus, is that you are not allowed to use artificial intelligence in this class to do your work. But we want to talk about artificial intelligence because we are preparing you to use websites and research sources, and we also want to prepare you to use artificial intelligence. And so just really quickly, I have a lesson here, and you're going to want to take a look at, it'll talk about how AI-based tools work, and assessing content, using AI effectively and creatively, and some different artificial intelligence readings that I recommend. All right. The most important thing from this lesson in our artificial intelligence is when you take a class, see what your professor's policy is on artificial intelligence. Some professors allow you to use it, some don't, some maybe a little bit. Okay. So in this class, you're not allowed to use artificial intelligence to do your answers or to help with your writing or anything like that. But we highly recommend you check out the artificial intelligence resources and check them out and use them ethically and thoughtfully. All right, so that's what Lesson 6 entails. I'm going to come back to our Unit 6 page. And from here, you've got 2 quizzes. You've got a Lesson 6 quiz, which is going to deal with the information that you saw in Lesson 6 itself. There's also a generative AI quiz. It's a short little quiz, but it kind of gets you thinking and kind of tests your knowledge a little bit. So you definitely going to want to refer back to the lessons when taking the quizzes. These quizzes, you can take them as many times as you'd like and automatically take the highest score of all your attempts. All right. And then we've got 3 assignments. All right. So we have an evaluating internet resources assignment, a wisdom of crowds assignment, and assignment number 6 in general. All right. So just really quickly, the evaluating internet resources, I click on that. And you're going to have 3 websites here that you're going to analyze. You're going to choose one of these, and then you're going to analyze it. You're going to use the CRAP test, take a look at it. And here's an example of an answer. You're going to, give me the currency, the reliability, the authority, and the purpose. And then you're going to give your own comment or your own analysis. Do you think it's a reliable source? Why or why not? And to take this quiz, you just click up here to start assignment, and you enter your answers right down here, and then submit assignment. All right, so this is kind of like the same assignment you did for your student biography in Unit 1. All right, so let's go back to our Unit 6 page, and we'll leave that. And there's a Wisdom of Crowds assignment here. So this is kind of a fun assignment. You're going to choose business, maybe a restaurant or some kind of business, and you're going to look at the Yelp reviews for it. Okay, and you're going to assess the wisdom of crowds. Okay, what's good, what's bad. So you're going to answer the following questions. You're going to tell me what your business was that you looked at, what city it's in, and then you're going to answer these specific questions. All right. And so this is going to need a little bit of your analysis. So make sure you give your analysis and give good answers for that. And it's the same thing. Click Start Assignment, and you type in your answers, and then Submit Assignment. All right. And then finally, we're going to go back to here, and we're going to go to assignment number 6. You're going to get the assignment, you're going to answer the questions, and then submit them, much like you've done for assignment number 1, 4, 5, and 6 now. So anyway, so that's Unit 6. Again, a very important unit because we talk about the internet, we talk about online resources, and we talk about artificial intelligence. It's so important to use these resources wisely and to be able to analyze and be critical about what you find on the internet or within artificial intelligence itself. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.